Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, a podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked with the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help a nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode.
Hi everyone, today we'll be talking to Tarvette, who is a psych and family nurse practitioner. Currently, she's working part-time at a psych telemed practice while she works on her business. She's had her practice for about a year, where she offers hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, and mental health services. She's needing help with marketing, transitioning from telemed to brick-and-mortar, and developing entrepreneurial confidence. Hey Tarvette, how are you?
Hey, Justin, how are you? Thank you for sharing your platform with me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for hopping on here. So yeah, tell us about yourself. How long you been in NP for? Looks like you're dual certified psych and family. So that's pretty impressive. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been in NP and kind of what sorts of things you've been up to?
Okay, so I've been a nurse practitioner for about 9 years. I've been an RN for, 18 or something like that. I forgot. I don't even count anymore. But 9 years as a nurse practitioner. I'm dual certified, like you said, family and psych. Primarily been working psych for the last 3 years remotely, seeing patients, mental health patients. And last year I decided to jump out there and start my own practice last January. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
So what provoked you to start your own practice?
Well, I was getting a lot of referrals from primary care, and ladies were coming, we'll talk, and pretty much it was perimenopause symptoms. So I decided to, I'm family. I could treat a lot of this stuff myself. So I jumped into hormone replacement, started taking some of your classes. Also, I took another class, like World Link, I think, and just kind of dove down into hormone replacement therapy, and I've been stuck ever since. So, offering mental health, hormones, metabolic health, all of this tied together. So, and those are like the three main services that I'm working on. When I first opened my practice, I was primarily just offering mental health services. So I really didn't know what way I wanted to go. I wanted to niche it down to men or women and just decide to do both. So the first half of the year is primarily doing mental health. Not really much traction. I really didn't put all my all into it. Couple visits here and there, but I was pretty much juggling full-time work and trying to start a practice, which that I have a couple patients, but not nothing to write home about. And in January, I decided to add the hormone and the metabolic, the weight loss. So a few patients to that, but still really no big traction to write home about. But this year, I decided to go full throttle and decided to decrease my workload to part-time to really commit to opening up this practice. Talked to my husband, he was on board. Financially, we're able to, cut down on one income, and we recently rented a facility for, like you say, under $1,000, but it's a really nice suite, 6 rooms, way more room than I need, but the price was great, so um I couldn't turn that down. So I'm hoping to, go into that brick and mortar, gain more patients, let people know I'm here. I'm not just virtual, but I kind of need that help to scale that as far as
Sure.
marketing.
Yeah. Okay. So, you can grow into that space.
hmm
So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, it's probably a lot more than what you need right now. But if it was a good deal, you got good terms on it,
Yeah.
hopefully you'll grow into
Yeah.
it. Now, this is a cash-based practice, correct?
So mental health, I am credentialed under Headway for that. So my mental health, I
Okay.
do use Headway for that. But hormones and weight loss is cash. It's like cash services.
Gotcha. Okay. Now let's break this down a little bit.
Oh.
So you're using Headway for your psych patients and insurance and stuff. How is that doing? How many patients do you have? How much have you made? Like, what's that looking like?
I have more. Well, it's doing okay. Last week, well, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did get a influx of patients from Headway, but they don't really refer a lot of patients to you. Not making a whole bunch of money from it. It's nothing, like I said, it's nothing to write home about. So,
Right.
um,
Okay. And then what about the HRT weight loss? I know you say you
have a
just started that early, just 2 or
yeah,
3 months ago.
yeah. A few
So,
months ago, I have a few clients on board with that. Um, a few women, a few men. So I really want to scale that, the hormones.
okay.
I think that that's where I'm really trying to push that. The mental health and all that kind of flows together, right? So, the hormones is what I really want to push.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I looked at your website. Your website's beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
I pay
your
a lot of
website's
money
very
for
well
it.
done. Like, your website looks really good. So it's a really clean, professional website, straight to the point. So you don't have to really work on that much. Now, you're transitioning over to brick and mortar.
Mhm,
So this is going to completely change the dynamic of your practice,
mhm.
right? This is going to be a completely different business essentially. So what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on mental health or would you rather focus in on HRT and stuff?
So when I started, I wanted to move away from the mental health. It's in there, but just not be like mental health.
Right.
I kind of really want to focus on the hormones. I'm not even trying to push myself as a weight loss clinic because with everything going on with the regulations, all that stuff with
Ah,
whoopings and yeah.
yeah.
I just kind of really want to focus on the hormones, but in the collective as far as the mental health, because
Right.
you're still gonna have mental health issues, depression, anxiety. Um, and then the metabolic issue. But the hormone is like center focus. That's what I really want.
Yeah.
And then I do want to, with the spaces so large, I do want to add like hydration, injectables, things like that. My idea for my practice is pretty much tailored to women. So I want a boutique practice. I'm not really big on volume, but I really want like quality, exclusive type services. So I know that may be a little bit more expensive, but just
Well, okay, you don't tell us where you're at,
Mhm.
but is there, like, how saturated is the market with this stuff?
Yeah, not saturated at all. We have I'm in South Georgia. Population about 60,000 people here. Um there are a few IV hydration, maybe I can think of 3 off the top of my head. Hormones, no. Maybe 1 or 2, not a lot. It's not saturated. So, I don't know if you would call that saturated for the population, but, um
Well, there's 60,000 people in your city, but I mean,
uh-huh.
how many people are in the county, right?
That's
I mean, how
yeah,
many people?
that would be the county. There was the
Oh,
city. That would be
60,000.
the city. Georgia, yeah, I guess.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
60,000 is pretty. That's not a very big number for a county.
I would say
I mean,
60
unless
then. I would say 60
for the
for
entire
the
county.
city, yeah.
For the city, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say 60,000 people in an entire county is a pretty rural county.
Mhm.
That's a pretty
And we
yeah,
are rural. It's a rural area. We have a
yeah,
major healthcare system here. But
okay.
yeah.
So, my rule of thumb is typically one practice for every 50 to 100,000 people or so, typically is if you want something that's a little bit higher volume.
Mhm.
So, you have a 6-room office, which is a pretty big office. What is that, like 2,000 square
Oh,
feet or something?
no. Not that big. It's
Oh.
1,100 square feet, but they're small.
Oh, okay. So it's
Ballroom,
okay.
not
All
like
right. Never mind.
huge, humongous. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,100 square feet. Okay, that's not. I thought there was like 6 big exam rooms and.
No.
Okay,
Maybe more
gotcha.
office like type rooms, but not nothing too big. No.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So if you go the HRT route, like you said with weight loss is one of those things that offer it. Don't expect much from it. Just so many people. Everyone does it now.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I would focus on the HRT. If you want to do more boutique concierge kind of stuff, I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
Separate yourself out a little bit. If you want to make it more of a woman's boutique kind of clinic and focus predominantly on female
Mhm.
patients, then you basically knock out 50% of the population, right? So, realize that.
Mhm.
And you're going to want to make sure you offer a lot of services that women want. So make sure you really think about that are you going to have to integrate aesthetics into this and some other stuff like that?
I
I don't
was
know.
thinking about doing some Botox filler courses, but I haven't done that.
Right.
That haven't.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea
Mhm.
to offer that. I mean,
Okay.
this is a women's clinic,
Okay.
right?
I had thought about
So
bringing
I
on
would
an esthetician, or a massage therapist or someone like that because I have the space for it. Um,
right, right. So, it might not be a bad idea. Now, if you go this route with this cash-based boutique stuff, like I said, focusing on services that women predominantly like. So look at like some boutique women's practices in some larger cities, see what they're offering
mhm.
and kind of basically just copy what they're doing. Cause if you can find somewhere that's been open for 5, 10 years, they've experimented with their services. They know what hits and what doesn't. So
Yeah.
you can kind of look around and maybe get an idea of what some other places are doing, in this space.
Mm.
HRT is a no-brainer, obviously. Weight loss, some IV infusion, vitamin injections, that sort of a thing is great. Peptides are going to be good. I think you probably will have to do some aesthetics though, if it's going to be more female, focused. But anyways, so do that. But the thing about this kind of practice is that if you are in an area that is not densely populated, if your city is only 60,000 people, it's not a very big city.
Mhm.
Um, and so, if your city's 60,000 people, your county's probably 150, 200,000, probably, I would
Mhm.
imagine. I don't know though. Just look
Mhm.
that up and see.
Okay.
But, other people from the county will come in too. Is the city that you're in the biggest city in the county?
Yes. In the county.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the county, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So most people in the
But
county
we
will be
have some
coming to
neighboring
you.
cities around also that, you know,
Right,
there's
right. So, you're gonna there's gonna be patients coming from all over the place. So just realize that with a practice like this, it's going to be slow compared to if you want to do insurance-based psych. It'll be a little bit slower um, to really generate a pretty significant profit. It's probably going to take 6 to 12 months more than likely.
Mhm.
Okay, so just be aware of that. It will take a little bit longer. You have an office space, you're gonna have to decorate it, you're gonna have to put a little work into it, probably.
Uh-huh.
Maybe throw some paint up or whatever
Yeah, we're doing that
and get
now.
some equipment and do what?
We're doing that all that now.
Doing that now,
Mhm.
okay, right. So, you gotta decorate it, you gotta put some money and time into it, and then it'll be ready to go. So, just go into it with a realistic expectation that when you're transitioning from telemed to brick and mortar, um, in most cases you can expect to grow faster as a brick and mortar because you have an actual physical presence now. You have your Google business listing, you have a sign out there, you have a physical presence. So
Mm.
you can expect to probably grow a lot faster than just telemed only.
Mhm.
But have a realistic expectation though that now your expenses are significantly higher and it might take 6 months to really really start seeing some real significant traction. Now, everyone's experience is different. There's some people out there that make a shit ton of money at 3 or 4 months in.
Yeah.
Some people it takes a year and a half, so just have that expectation. Now, I know you said you wanted to transition out of psych.
Well, not
Is there any
necessarily out
reason?
of it. I still want to do psych.
Okay,
Um, but I do wanna add these other services on. So
sure. You
foundation
can
is
do
psych.
both.
My foundation is psych. That's what I've been doing the last 8, 9 years. So I do want to continue psych. So I guess, because I know, that's the calls I get most often, is the mental
Right,
health
well, of
component.
course.
So, I don't wanna just back that altogether. I'm a
So if
psychiatrist.
I was you, I'd go into this with a strategy of having a 2 practice, right?
Mhm.
Um, I would the mental health is what's gonna be your bread and butter probably,
Mhm.
you know? The women's health, this boutique clinic kinda thing it'll eventually start making making some decent money, but, it's gonna take some time. The mental health, though, you could probably scale that pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely put some effort and time into that. Now, you can use Headway for a time being, that's fine, but you need to go through the process of getting credentialed yourself,
Okay.
okay? Because with Headway and places like that, you technically don't own those patients.
Okay.
They do,
Okay.
right? So if you ever decided to just get credentialed and tell Headway to, you know, shovel off or whatever, they technically speaking, you're not going to be able to take those patients.
Okay.
They're going to send those patients somewhere else. Now, you don't own those patients. Headway does.
Okay.
Okay. When you credential yourself, those are your patients. Okay. So if you're trying to scale a business, then you do not want to use a service like Headway long term.
Okay.
It's okay for a little while until
Mhm.
get some patients in the door, start making some money or whatever.
Yeah.
But long term, you do not want to, you using that service. So
Gotcha.
go start the process now of just credentialing
Okay.
yourself. You now have an office space. So now it's gonna be a lot easier of a process. It'll
Mhm.
probably still take 3 to 6 months,
Mhm.
but go ahead and start the process now. That way you can just move into it. Now, continue to use Headway between now and then until you get credentialed,
Okay.
and you can just tell patients that, we're billing insurance now, and you're gonna have to navigate that situation. I don't know exactly what the contract says with Headway.
Mhm.
Ultimately, it's up to the patient where they wanna
Yeah.
go, okay? Ultimately. So, that's gonna be one of those things where, I don't know, you're gonna have to, like, take a look at that contract and then navigate that situation a little bit, a little carefully. You don't wanna break that contract and then get sued by Headway,
Okay.
right? So
So
but
how
I would
would I do
imagine
that
if you say
how would I do that with the cash-based service? Would I still get credential and still offer the cash services?
yeah, exactly. So, you're only gonna be credentialed for mental health services.
Okay.
That's it,
Okay.
right? The HRT and all this other stuff, that's not mental health,
Okay.
unless you're prescribing it for a mental health need,
Okay.
right? But
Mhm.
you're using your family NP for that stuff,
Okay.
right? So, what you're supposed to do is if you're gonna have insurance and bill cash, if the stuff that you're billing cash for is also covered by insurance, then you have to create 2 separate entities,
Okay.
okay? One LLC for your insurance-based practice, then one LLC for the cash-based, and then you do all the cash-based stuff through a separate LLC that's not credentialed with insurance.
Okay.
In your case, you're only gonna be credentialed for psych. You're not gonna be credentialed for primary care family, right? So you should be able to just operate out of that same LLC because it is a completely different thing that's not covered by what you're credentialed for. Because you're not doing mental health over here. You're doing HRT and weight loss and aesthetics and IV infusion, et cetera. So it
Okay.
shouldn't be a problem.
So I shouldn't have to
Yeah.
do another entity. I just have the
No.
one that I have and okay. Okay.
Correct.
And it's like
Yeah.
you
I
just
don't see an issue with that.
okay. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Um, and then yeah, I would say that from a marketing standpoint, I wouldn't spend a tremendous amount of money marketing this thing. I would go into it a little bit slowly and just see what happens. Um, really focus in on the stuff that's easy, effective, and cheap. And by that, I mean, like I've talked about in other podcasts before, you make sure you're easily found, focus on your Google business listing, get some reviews on there.
Mhm.
Make sure your website's up to date, put some articles on there, start working more on SEO and stuff. Uh, get a good sign out on the road if you can.
Okay.
Um, and just see what happens.
So you think
Right.
I should just kind of market it as like mental health, and then as I start seeing okay women or men, and then then let them know okay well we also offer hormone replacement therapy, like kind of get them in the door, and then kind of have a leeway to the other services,
Um,
or do you still just kind of
yeah, the name of your business.
joyful minds mental health?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the name of your business is great. Joyful Minds,
Yeah.
integrated health and wellness. I like that. Um,
I struggle with that. I've thought
I'd,
about
s-
changing it several times, but I'm like I'm gonna keep it.
I mean, I like it. That name works fine for mental health. Does it work for a woman's boutique? Probably not.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all Elite Nurse Practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and then other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
But I think you could still stay branded the same way. You could call it something like Joyful Minds can be your mental health business.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joyful Women or something like that can be the women's boutique practice. Integrated health and wellness, that subheading can still be the same for both. Or you can say Joyful Minds, integrated mental health, something like that.
Okay.
So you just want to make sure you clearly spell it out. I would try to have two different Google business listings because ultimately it's two different businesses.
Okay. Because right now I have the Joyful Minds Integrative Mental Health and Wellness, like a DBA. And then it's the Joyful Mind, that's the LLC, that's the legal name. The
Joyful Minds is
Integrated Mental Health and Wellness is the legal name.
Yeah, you can keep that. That's fine. I don't think you need to have completely different LLCs and stuff. I wouldn't
Okay.
waste your time with that.
Okay.
I would just have two different websites and two different Google business listings,
Yeah.
one for Joyful Minds and then one for Joyful Women or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel so.
Right.
Do I need to do another website or do I need to do like a landing page?
I would probably do a different website too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But the good news is that your website already is built,
Yeah.
right? The navigation bar, all you got to do is copy this, flip it over, change some words.
Okay.
It's pretty much all you really got to do. You don't got to completely rebuild the thing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Sounds good.
So for
Sounds good.
mental health,
If
you
I
stick
wanted
with the
to
mental health.
add the health and the infusion, the injectables, things like that, that'll be on the health and wellness side of course.
Right. And then with the Joyful Women LL,
Yeah.
with the Joyful Women website business.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what you go with. Correct.
Okay.
So that's what, yeah. So that's how I would do it. So make it look like it's two different businesses, but in reality, it's the same business. It's just kind of doing a DBA, so to speak. And then when people come into clinic, the pictures in the clinic and the branding of the clinic can be called Joyful Minds and Women or something like that, or just call it Joyful. when some
Okay.
people come in, it's the same logo. It just says joyful.
Okay.
Something like that. It's a little bit more generic. So that way when they come in, it still looks like it's branded. What I would do is I would schedule these patients on different days.
Okay.
Mental health on Mondays, women's on Tuesdays, something like that.
So
That way you can change some things up a little bit if you need to, like brochures or whatever.
okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. That's something. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I am offering packages for the hormones and weight loss services. And then I was thinking about doing like memberships.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much standard for this
Yeah.
stuff. So I would definitely focus in on that. I mean, you could also have packages and stuff like that too for even like some cash-based mental health integrated stuff if you want to,
So the mental health, I have started marketing like a direct primary care psychiatric tailored to that. DPC still, but psychiatric as the P. And I have been marketing that for, the patients who are maybe under insured or not insured. So that's something I have been marketing for the mental health component for those cash pay patients. That does
Where you been marketing that?
well, just kind of telling them that's something I offer.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah.
you. You're not actually physically marketing it though.
No,
No.
my marketing budget is very small. I don't, like you said, I haven't been marketing a lot, so that's probably why no one knows I'm here. But, I have been getting out, doing like health fairs, and we're gonna start branching out and doing things like that, just so our face and is kind of talk to the people in the community, branching them in that way, and maybe going over to some of the local providers' offices and letting them know, hey, I'm offering mental health services, provider. That way they can refer patients to us. Because mental health, everyone's always looking. Other than the big facility that we have in the town, there are other chains of mental health, but I think a lot of people are exhausted with those options and just want something different. So that's what I
Don't waste your time on so don't waste your time with health fairs.
okay.
All right.
Don't waste time.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I don't even ever talk to anyone who went to a health fair and was like, holy shit, I got 30 patients.
Okay.
I think I've heard that once.
Okay.
7,
And
8 years of
it's
doing
more
this.
just like market, just kind of let people know I'm here. So okay,
Nah,
got you. They
no,
don't
but
help. Okay. So
I mean, who
what
the
should I
hell's
do? What about going to like local primary care offices, giving them my information?
yeah.
How are they going to
No,
receive
no.
me as far as like hormones though? That's kind of what I'm kind of scared of.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no. So if you're going to go to other practices, I would only advertise
The
the
mental
mental
health.
health component of it.
I was
Okay.
thinking that too. Yeah.
You get those referral relationships in the, and those referral relationships can turn into, a pretty profitable thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely focus on that. That's free. It just takes a little time,
Okay.
right? So definitely do that. I would not do that though for HRT and
Okay.
whatnot.
So just take a
No
blank
one
mental health brosure, drop those off,
exactly.
something just mental health tailored. That's it. Okay.
Right. These are the insurances that we take. These are the conditions that we see. We can schedule patients within 2 weeks, whatever,
Okay.
and just go to a bunch of primary care offices or whatever. Start handing these things out,
Okay.
and just go that way. That's what I would do.
Okay.
But don't do that with the HRT and stuff because no one's referring someone for you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not like really referring someone over to you for
HRT. Yeah.
not medically necessary HRT,
Okay.
right? So anyways though, yeah, I'd focus on that. Focus on, like I said, being easily found, get a decent sign up there,
Mhm.
and I would just leave it at that for a couple months and just see what happens because most people looking for these services are looking for them. You don't really have to advertise it. They're gonna look and see if you come up, and if you
Yeah.
do, they're gonna call you up,
Yeah. I
right?
just had a phone call. A guy just called me. I think he found me on Psychology Today or something like that. I randomly,
Yeah, there you go.
sometimes I get calls from people who find me on Psychology Today. I have a Google listing. I've changed all the information to that. I've had a Google listing for a while. The SEO part, I don't know how well that is. The guy that did my website, he stated that he did a lot of things tailored to SEO. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. You don't really have any, you don't have any content on your website. You don't
No.
have like a blog or
Mm-mm.
articles or video or anything like that. That's what you need to focus on.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to have like a little thing on there that says articles and videos or something. And you just like, you write articles about treating anxiety or HRT or whatever. And then if you're comfortable in front of a camera, record some videos about it as well. Do that. You can also go into local Facebook groups if there are any
Mm-hmm.
and start just becoming a member of a community and start talking to people and stuff.
Okay.
And people will see what you do and you can get some patients that way. That's relatively easy.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
What about
I think that's
Facebook?
all.
Facebook, just kind of doing any ads on Facebook or Instagram?
No,
No.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, not for a practice. I think it's
Okay.
so hit or miss.
Okay.
Um, I just don't think it's necessary. And if there's not a lot of competition in your area, you don't even have to fool with a Google ad if you don't need to.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you have a Google business listing and a decent website and someone in your area types in hormone replacement therapy for women or whatever, your name should be coming up on the Google map listings. You know what I mean? If someone types in psych practice or mental health clinic or whatever, hopefully your business is going to be popping up on there,
Yeah,
right?
I've done it. I think it's popping up. I don't know if that.
Yeah. So if it's popping up, you don't really have to, you don't even have to fool with a Google ad. All right.
Okay.
What you can do over, for a few months, 3 to 6 months, you could put a billboard up somewhere in town
Oh, so that.
has decent visibility. For smaller towns, where there's not a lot of competition, I do find that billboards tend to do fairly well. And it's not something that you can really attribute a lot of patients to.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes people aware that you're there.
Okay.
And then it'll be in the back of their mind more or less that they saw you one time or
Okay.
whatever,
Okay.
so you can do that as well. But I think that if you're willing to give this 6 months and just do those things that I just told you to do, you don't even have to fool with the billboard probably.
Okay.
If you just patiently wait and get lots of reviews on your Google business listing, prioritize that. I think
Okay.
if you just wait 6 months, it will, I think you'll start getting busy. And I think after a year and a half, you'll start getting really busy.
Okay.
If you just give it some
Some
time.
Oh, yeah. Because I really feel like, the first year I really didn't commit to it. So my year feels like it's just started, and then even January, just by me cutting back full time at work and really just kind of focusing on it, I've seen some more patients come through the door. So
Yeah.
I can't say I don't have any patients. I do have some, so that's something. But now that I'm focusing on it, I see that there's a possibility to grow it. So okay.
No, 100%. Yeah. If you just stay patient with this, I
Yeah.
think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I've
You'll
kind
be
of been having
quitting that
some.
part-time job in 6 to 12 months. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I've kind of been having some buyer's remorse about getting the building. We were renting um a room from a interventionist physician, but I really rarely wasn't even using it. And I was in a back room. It was in a crazy area, road off the road. No one's gonna see it unless it's his patients. And I just didn't feel like that was a good location. They were great. Commend them for letting me rent the room. But I also found this place for only a couple $100 more. So it really didn't break the bank or anything. Um,
Eh, How much you paying a month?
so it went from $500 to $995.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I thought it was a good deal. Only a couple $100 more. So
You know how many people right now listing wish they could find a place for
I know.
$950 a month or whatever?
No.
A lot of people,
But
trust me.
I miss rural South Georgia.
Yeah, I know. That's the beautiful thing about being in a rural area, right?
Yeah,
Like, you can
right.
get this shit cheap.
So I
Yeah.
also was thinking about kind of, going out to the neighboring counties, small counties, and, some of these doctors' offices that need mental health that also
Go out with,
get out.
yes,
Yeah,
you need to spend a few days where
just
you
out.
just go out, get dressed up, get prettied up, and go out there with some brochures
Yeah,
and just start going to places
yeah,
and just be like, I want to let you guys know this is what's going on, whatever. Absolutely.
yeah.
Like, the thing is, 10% of the people that you go to will probably actually start referring patients to you.
Okay.
Who knows though?
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just got to get
You
out.
could go to a primary care office and you could go to 10 different offices and then one decides to start referring patients over to you. But that one office refers a dozen patients to
Yeah.
you a month.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I really need to hit
Yeah.
some of these small counties that's sitting
Yeah.
off and not getting any, traction. But okay. Awesome.
I would. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
In terms of being confident as an entrepreneur, all right? 'Cause I know you wanted to kind of briefly talk about that. My biggest piece of advice for you with being confident as an entrepreneur is that you never know what's going to happen with the business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It doesn't matter how much confidence you have starting a new business, going into a business. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make you more successful or not.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the market's going to tell you what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be demand or there isn't going to be demand. Now, what separates a truly confident entrepreneur from one that fails is that the confident entrepreneur knows that they can make the business successful if they're willing to spend the time on it,
Yeah.
if they're willing to be patient with it, and they're willing to pivot the business. They're willing to change the service and the product that they're offering to meet market demand.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a confident entrepreneur. All right. Because a confident entrepreneur knows that they will be successful. It just might take some time and some experimenting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Gotcha.
For me, it took me 4 or 5 different businesses before I really hit one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was just confident though. I just kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying.
Mhm.
That's a confident entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So it doesn't really matter how much confidence that you have right now going into this. Oh, I'm going to start this business. It's going to do fantastic. I'm so confident. It fucking doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right. But if you go into it saying, I'm going to make this work and I'm willing to, I'm willing to give it 6 months and be patient.
Yeah.
I'm willing to not allow my emotions dictate my decisions.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay logical with this and objective, listen to the customer, look at the numbers, get rid of what's not working and focus on what's working.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Like I remember when I started Elite NP back in 2019, I remember selling my first course and how much money I made off of it. And I was just like, that's what I'm going to focus on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my Suboxone practice that I started, I scrapped it, with my men's health practice. We started doing some DPC stuff.
No.
It wasn't really hitting. I scrapped it, and over a couple years, I just realized all guys really care about is their testosterone replacement therapy and their Viagra. That's it.
And I wish
Everything else.
I guess I want to target men so bad. I want that. That's what I want, men. I have my husband. He's on his testosterone. He's my marketing person, right? But it's so hard to get guys interested. So I was like, okay, let me get their wives and their girlfriends, and maybe they'll pull them in. So I don't know.
Well, that's what I told you at the beginning of this episode is that, if you're only going to focus on women, you're getting rid of 50% of the population. You're getting rid of
I want men. I want the
Okay,
guys.
so then
They're
don't-
easy.
Yeah, then don't do a women's boutique practice.
Okay.
Do just a concierge wellness
Wellness
where you
practice.
focus in on
Okay.
HRT and other things.
Okay.
If you get some guys that come in for testosterone replacement therapy and you treat them well, they're not going to care if you're a female. They don't care.
Okay.
Okay, they just don't. I have a couple female MPs that work in my men's health practice. The patients don't care. So if you treat them well, you get their numbers up and they feel good, they don't give a shit, and they will refer friends and family to you and you will slowly grow that.
Okay.
Okay. So just be patient
Patient.
with it.
Gotcha.
That's a confident entrepreneur. A confident
Okay.
entrepreneur is a patient entrepreneur.
Okay. I'm not
Okay.
impatient. I'm patient.
Yeah, I mean, you strike me as someone who's fairly patient.
Yep.
So like, I'm not calling you out specifically.
Yeah,
I'm just saying like, Yeah, like,
Yeah, my
yeah.
husband,
So
like I said,
anyway,
my husband is my cheerleader. He cheers me on. I think I'll still be on the sideline waiting to get started if it wasn't from him. He's always been that motivation to get me out there. So, um, yeah, okay. All right,
good.
I'm excited.
Uh,
Okay. I
any other
thank you
questions?
so much. You gave me some great advice to work on. I'm so bad. I'm sorry. My dogs want to bark in the background. But you gave me great advice. Especially the credentialing. So I'll go ahead and get that started. Um,
Yeah,
okay.
start that
Do you
immediately
have
because
any
that's going to take 3 to
services that
6
you
months.
use for credentialing?
I just always recommend going with someone who's local,
Okay.
regional.
I have someone I can
That
look back out to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just, you can Google search medical credentialing, billing services or whatever, and like get someone who's local who knows your state's credentialing process, someone who has the phone numbers to the people that they need to
Okay.
talk to. Yeah,
Okay. Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Sounds
Any other questions?
no, none that I can think of. No,
Okay.
it's been very helpful. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Well, I like to end the episode with you asking me a question. You have a question for me? Some curiosity or a
No, are
specific question
you?
for me?
And I think I've heard you say this before that you're not seeing any patients. You see patients every now and then, right? You're not actively seeing any.
Yeah, I see patients once a week
Okay.
for 1 to 2 hours.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you're going to Belize. How long's your trip?
Yeah, I fly out on Sunday, actually. Yeah, we
Awesome.
recorded this on, a Wednesday? Yeah, so I fly out in, 3 or 4 days.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, I'm super excited. It's a bucket list trip.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, I'm a big I fly fish a lot, and
Okay.
so, um, I mostly just fly fish for trout on, freshwater streams in Colorado and Tennessee or whatever. And, so I'm going to Belize to fly fish for really big fish,
Oh.
like big tarpon and, like, things like that, and so instead of catching a little 16-inch trout, I'm gonna be catching a tarpon that's 4 feet long.
Okay.
Like
I'm sure you will share some pictures with us when you get back.
oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, no, 100%. I'll be posting. Oh, yeah, I'll be posting, yeah, so
Well,
I'm going down there for, like
thank you so much because, I've purchased several of your courses, and I just kind of sat on them. I just took the IV course last month. I had it since last February. So, I don't think if it wasn't for your platform and the courses that you offer, this thing will be just a dream. So I do, thank you for all that you've done. You kind of give us nurse practitioners hope, outside of traditional hospital-based care. So,
yeah.
yeah, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. I mean, I'm
Mm.
glad you got some value out of it,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
listen, I mean, you did more than what most MPs never do. You've already started your business. Now it's
Yeah,
just time to take this thing to the next level,
yeah,
so you're over the biggest hump,
yeah,
the biggest part of it now. So now it's
yeah.
just time to scale this thing.
I'm ready.
So,
I'm
yeah.
ready. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Nope. You're welcome. Take care.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.